What is up, guys? Today we're going to go ahead and do a 2 round mock draft for the upcoming NFL draft. I think we're at the point in the off season where, a lot of us have been watching college football or scouting these guys after college football ended. I think we're at the point of the off season where we can confidently do a 2 round mock draft pretty quickly. And, we're confident about the players and our scouting abilities and their strengths, weaknesses, and things of that nature. So we're going to go ahead and hop into it. I'm not going to make you wait too long for it. And a little preface of this mock draft will be no trades. It's also going to be a combination of what I think will happen and what I would do if there's reports out there talking about what these teams are thinking about doing. I'll put my bias aside and do what the team I think is going to do. But if it's an open playing field, I'm going to do what I would do if I was running the team. All right? Sound good? Alrighty, let me pull this up real quick. Hopefully this is large enough for y'all to see. And we're going to hop right into it. Alright. Number 1, Tennessee Titans. The team has talked about not passing up generational talents, and I believe them. I think Travis Hunter is a generational talent. Plays corner, plays receiver, good at both, exceptional athlete. Not going to overthink it. Travis Hunter to the Tennessee Titans. The Cleveland Browns are an interesting team. They're going to trade Myles Garrett most likely this offseason. But you made the worst trade in sports history probably for Deshaun Watson, who's now tore his Achilles twice. I feel like you have to go quarterback here. And the quarterback, by far, in my opinion, the only NFL-ready quarterback and the quarterback with the most upside in this draft class is Cam Ward. So they go Cam Ward. The interesting part about the Giants is the only reason the head coach and the GM have their jobs still. When they came in, Daniel Jones was under contract from a different regime. They cut Daniel Jones, and they haven't had the opportunity to draft their own quarterback. The only reason they still have their jobs, in my opinion, is because the ownership is letting them, hey, go get your quarterback, and we'll judge you off of that. So I feel like this is their last opportunity to get a quarterback. With Cam Ward off the board, again, this is what I think the Giants will do. I don't think Shedeur is a top 20 player in this draft. If I was ranking it, which I have a big board available, he's in the 60s. But I think, quarterbacks are so valuable, and I think the Giants take Shedeur Sanders at number 3. That makes this pick really easy for the Patriots. Abdul Carter, you could argue, is the best player in this class when it comes to positional value. Excuse me. I mean, Micah Parsons' clone, and it's not the Penn State jersey. It's not the same number. The get off, the athleticism, the explosiveness, how they bend the edge. He's like 20 pounds heavier than Micah. You don't pass up on an edge player like that. Jacksonville Jaguars. Liam Cohen comes in, first year as a head coach. They're going to have a new GM. We don't know exactly what they're thinking inside the building. But if this was me, you don't pass up on Mason Graham. That's a cornerstone of your defense for the next decade. He's a little short-armed, but quick feet, quick hands, great technician, plays the run well with hand usage and leverage. And, the only thing you can say bad about him is he's got Short arms, but who cares? It hasn't affected him. Mason Graham. All right, Raiders, number 6. Pete Carroll, new head coach. We don't know who the quarterback's going to be, but we know you hit on Brock Bowers last year. You're going to be bad again this year, and probably picking in the top 10 for the next couple of years. You're eventually going to bring in a young quarterback. Let's make that situation as nice of a transition as possible for this young quarterback. And, what screams easy transition for a young quarterback than Brock Bowers and Tet McMillan. I think Tet's a great player. People are comping him to Drake London, and I agree with the comp, but he's better. Significantly better than Drake London. Jets came out yesterday that Aaron Rodgers not going to be back with the team in 2025. Aaron Glenn, defensive guy, DB. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm so tired tonight. Anyway, I think Aaron Glenn is going to fall in love with Malachi Starks. That's going to be the cornerstone of their defense for the next 10 years. Aaron Glenn was a safety. He's a defensive coach. Malachi Starks is a dog. Me personally, I don't believe in taking safeties that high in the draft just because of positional value. But I think the Jets will fall in love with Malachi Starks. Panthers, number 8. They're probably sitting here like, man, again, no trades in this draft. Edge, we can go James Pierce, Jalen Walker. If Tet was there, you're probably going Tet. Just, give Bryce some weapons. Try to figure out what you got with Bryce. You don't really need Genty. You just drafted Brooks last year, tore his ACL again. You paid Chuba. If I'm the Jets, it's between Pierce and Walker for me. And I think Walker is one, he can play linebacker and edge. I think he's a linebacker on first down, first and second down, depending on, personnel and package usage of the offense. And then he's rushing the passer on third down. Well, I think Pierce is a better overall pass rusher. I think Walker, and plus, reports are coming out, Walker is one of the most intelligent football players in this class, and he's one of the best leaders in this class. I think Jalen Walker, Carolina. All right. Saints at 9. Kellen Moore comes in. What is he working with? Their cap is in a terrible situation. Their talent on the roster is terrible. And, Kellen Moore, coming from Philadelphia, understands good offensive line play. And, now this is where I'm mixing what I believe and what I think they'll do. I think they'll go offensive line. And listen, when I'm talking offensive line, hear me out, okay? I played offensive line in college. I'm a coach. I coach offensive line. Will Campbell, I don't see the hype. Technique is on and off. He doesn't bend well at all. His pad level is very high. The hand usage is pretty good. The overall play strength, I think, is average. Kelvin Banks, I believe, is more of a guard. Armand Membu, I believe, is more of a guard. Josh Simmons is the best tackle in this class by a long shot. If he didn't tear his patella in his knee. I'm going to go, some people might call me crazy. I don't care. I think Josh Simmons, by far the best tackle in this class. You're bad. Who cares? Let him recover his knee. Take the best tackle. All right. Bears at number 10. Same situation going on here, except they don't need a tackle. They can go with a guard who can potentially bump out. To tackle. And, he played right tackle in college. But Armand Membu, I think, is a better guard than Kelvin Banks. I think he's a better offensive lineman, period. So you'd be switching him. I mean, he can play a right guard immediately. And that's what you might do, Take the best players and figure out where to play them later. Again, I talked about Aaron Glenn coming to the Jets from Detroit, understanding how to build a roster. Ben Johnson understands running the football is important. And running the football starts with the offensive line. And Armand Membu is a pretty dang good offensive guard, in my opinion. 49ers. Just really injury-riddled season. And Charvarius Ward has nothing to do with the 49ers. The tragic loss of his daughter. He said it was kind of tough on him staying in the same situation where he lost his daughter, which, I completely understand that. I can only imagine what that would feel like. He said he's probably not coming back to the 49ers, not because they don't want him back, not because he doesn't want to be back, but because, losing his daughter in California and, staying in the same situation, he said it just wasn't good for him mentally, which, I think both sides will respect a lot. But back to the football side of things, that means they're losing a pretty good corner. And I think Will Johnson, I don't think you can pass up Will Johnson here, 2023 Will Johnson is a top 3 pick. He was hurt this year, had turf toe, didn't play a lot. Good player. He might not have the 4.4 speed. He might be more of a 4.5 guy. Who cares? High IQ, high zone coverage. I tell you, if you play a lot of Palms coverage, Will Johnson is a great pick. I watched him get 4 or 5 interceptions playing the boundary corner when they were playing Palms to the boundary side. Palms is I won't get into it. It's a cover 4 match, but for the more casual football fan, just think of it as the interceptions were kind of cover 2-y, if that's how you want to think of it. All right. Anyway, great fit with Robert Saleh down there in San Fran. I'm a Cowboys fan. Genty, welcome to the squad. No brainer. Again, like I talked about with Malachi Starks, I don't believe in taking safeties high because of the, just the draft capital. I don't believe in taking running backs high unless they're special. Genty is special. Genty is the next. Genty is the Zeke, the Saquon Barkley, the Adrian Peterson, that caliber of running back. Yeah, that's him right there. All right, 13. I think this is a spot where you can see Kelvin Banks Jr. come off the board. Teron Armstead getting older. Probably play Kelvin Banks at left guard for a season. If you want to kick him out to left tackle when Teron Armstead, retires or, cut him or whatever happens, makes perfect sense. Kelvin Banks, welcome to the squad. Everybody in America is making the selection of Tyler Warren to the Colts. And I think I'm going to as well. It just makes sense. Like you haven't had a starting tight end in Indianapolis since Dallas Clark. Go get you a tight end, all right? Atlanta 15. Their defense is in shambles. Go get you a bona fide pass rusher. That helps a lot on defense. Rushing the passer, can't complain about that. James Pierce, good athlete, like 6'5", 245, 250. Good get off, explosive, good hand usage. Just not great against the run. Who cares? Go get after the passer, all right? Cardinals, they could use a lot of different things, all right? They could use a lot of different things. Luther Burden is tempting me. Luther Burden paired with Marvin Harrison sounds really fun. Sounds really fun to me. I think Luther Burden is a great football player. Your defense wasn't great last year, but neither was your offense. And I mean, Kyler didn't play particularly great. Go get you an easy button. Marvin Harrison, move Luther. Marvin's your X. Luther can go into the slot. He can be the flanker. He can be off the line of scrimmage. Screens, quick game, yak, deep shots. Yeah, we're going Luther Burden here. Going Luther Burden for sure. Bengals, your defense was atrocious last year. How do you fix a bad defense? It's not with Mikael Williams, I'll tell you that. You know what? How do you fix a defense? You go get a pass rusher. I don't care this dude's from Marshall. He played at UVA before Marshall. He's got all the tools in the world to go be a great pass rusher. You saw some at the Senior Bowl. Get off, hand usage, twitchiness. Yeah. Mike Green, welcome to the Bengals, brother. All right, Seahawks. You're sitting here. O-line is probably one of your bigger needs because Abraham Lucas can't stay healthy. But you could use a guard as well. Sitting here, not seeing anything super exciting. If you think Will Campbell can play guard, you take him here. I think you take Will Campbell. again, I don't think Will Campbell can play guard. He doesn't bend well at all. But I think, Will Campbell slip into 18, you take him. Bucks. See, now at this point in the draft, you're looking at guys who can, you just need D-line help. You just need D-line help. Again, this isn't where I would take Mikael Williams, but I don't think he falls much further. Go get you an edge. He's a twitchy, athletic freak. He doesn't get off the ball well, and he doesn't play the run well. Or no, excuse me, he plays the run well, but he doesn't get off the ball well. He has zero pass rush plan. Maybe you can coach him up. Broncos. You need a tight end. Everyone knows that, but it's a deep tight end class. You don't have to take Colston Loveland right here. Defense played pretty well last year. No running backs here that I would necessarily take. You know what? Go get you a Colston Loveland. Steelers. Dun, dun, dun. Steeler fans, don't get mad at me. I promise you, it's not Kenny Pickett all over again. But Jackson Dart comes in. Maybe you keep Fields for a year. Let Fields play for a year. Jackson Dart's the quarterback of the future. Talented dude. Just needs to get better and learn. Maybe you bring in an Aaron Rodgers for a season and let Jackson Dart learn under him. I don't know. Chargers. What is the Chargers center situation looking like? Chargers depth chart. Because there's an offensive lineman that I'm highly interested in this range if I'm needing a center. Bradley Bozeman. I didn't think Bradley was bad. I don't know why this NFL mock draft has, the Chargers needing a center. If my mock draft could come back up, that'd be amazing. There we go. All right. You know what? I know what to do. Harbaugh. Harbaugh loves his guys, right? Kenneth Grant, D-tackle, Michigan. Welcome to the squad, brother. Kenneth Grant, big ball of clay, athletic freak, 6'4", 330, powerful in the run game. Great athlete. Doesn't give you much pass rushing wise, but great athlete. Packers. I think you take care of receiver via trade or free agency. You could take Matthew Golden here, but does that really move the needle I don't think it does, honestly. I don't think so. But you are losing Jair Alexander. And I think Siobhan Ravel is a freak coming off a torn ACL. And I think it's a perfect pair. Big, tall corner. Can press man the hell out of you. Play zone. I like it. Vikings up next. The Vikings, I think, they kind of outcoached their talent potential last year. This roster is not as good as people give it credit for, in my opinion. And I think that showed. In the last couple of weeks in the season. They just couldn't block anybody up front. And I think Tyler Brooker comes in to fix that. I honestly do. Good, strong, stout guard, powerful hands, powerful legs, good footwork. Nothing wrong. I can't say anything bad about the player, Can't say anything bad about the player at all. Texans. Now this. You have Nico, Tank Dell, and Stephon Diggs. Well, Diggs isn't in a contract. Tank Dell might not ever be the same player he was his rookie year ever again. Okay? So, where does that leave you helping Stroud? I think you take Matthew Golden and you give your young quarterback more weapons. Your head coach is a defensive coach. Figure that out. Figure the defense out. Go get Stroud some weapons. LA, this is an interesting team. They're talking about trading Stafford. It's like, I feel like your window is like this year. Like, or maybe, Cup's out of there. Stafford's out of there. I don't know. But what I do know is you need to find offensive line. You need to find offensive linemen. And I think one of the offensive linemen with the most upside in this class, I think has the potential to be one of the better tackles of this class, Josh Connerly Jr. out of Oregon. Just athletic as hell, moves so well. And I think at 26, this is a steal. You get a left tackle for the next decade. Whatever you decide to do with Stafford and Cup, who cares? You have a left tackle for the next decade. Ravens. Is Stanley coming back? I don't know. But you know what I do know is your defense wasn't very good against the pass last year. And this player is a hell of a player, but he has a hip injury. It's kind of scary. But the Ravens always just get good players. That's just what they do as an organization. And Benjamin Morrison, great player. All right. You get him because he's hurt. Who cares? Great fit. Love it. Absolutely love it. Lions, Dan Campbell. What are we going to do? We lost our OC, our DC. So many guys on defense injured last year. And it's like, who just strikes me as a Dan Campbell guy? Jack Sawyer. But I don't think you can take Jack Sawyer this early in the draft. But I think Shamar Stewart, you most definitely can. 6'4", 280, can play end opposite. He'll be your strong end. Aiden Hutchinson will be your weak end. Move inside on pass rushing downs. I think it's a great fit. Washington Commanders. What are we doing? I know exactly what we're doing. You went to the Ohio State well with Terry McLaurin about a decade ago. We're going back to it. Emeka Ibuka. Get Jaden, young quarterback. Young quarterbacks always struggle in year 2. Get him some more weapons to help him out. D coordinators are going to learn his tendencies, learn what he likes, what he doesn't like. Yeah. Give him another weapon. Because, besides Terry, who was scaring you on that offense? And Terry's old. He's 31. He's not going to be here forever. Emeka Ibuka. Bills. Bills. What do you need, Bills? When it came down to it, you just didn't have enough. You don't have that receiver, that one guy. And I don't see that guy up here either. But you also didn't have pass rush. And you need pass rush to get past. Not seeing the pass rush from this spot either. It's probably a trade spot, honestly. Not seeing it. But you know what? You had those 2 great safeties for a long time. And now your safety play is average. I'm not saying Jahdae Barron's playing safety, but he's a nickel, plays slot. He can play some safety for you. I think Jahdae Barron is a heck of a player. Chiefs. Oh, man. Chris Jones not getting any younger. You didn't do bad versus Saquon in the Super Bowl, honestly. But, man, you couldn't block anybody either. Let's see what the tackle. Ariante Ursary. I wouldn't mind it. But, I don't think Walter Nolan gets out of the first round. Walter Nolan, you are a Kansas City Chief. All right, Eagles. You're losing Milton Williams. You could go D tackle here. Just keep the well going. You also... Lane Johnson's getting older. Maybe you go ahead and keep that well going as well. Cameron Williams is a possibility. Ariante Ursary is a possibility. But we're going to go with Derek Harmon, I think. Pass rushing. He can play 1 tech, play 3 tech. He can pass rush. Not the best at stopping the run, but he's 6'5", 315. Derek Harmon, welcome to the Eagles, brother. All right. Round two. Browns. We went Cam Ward in round 1. Let's get us a edge to replace Myles Garrett, most likely. Any edges we like here? I personally don't like Scorton that well. We just got, a brand new quarterback. Brand new quarterback. Nick Chubb's probably not coming back. Let's go Amarian Hampton. Let's get him a running back. Let's get him some running game going. Amarian Hampton, great player. No bias because I'm a UNC fan. You want to know my comp for Amarian Hampton? And when I say this, it's not disrespectful to be Walmart brand, okay? Walmart brand David Johnson. Fluid runner, can catch the ball really well. I love it. I love it. All right, Giants. We went with Shadur, if I'm not mistaken. We went with Shadur. We have a lot of things to cover up on this roster. So it's really, you can just take best player available. And, with a bad team, you kind of just go like high positional value, best player available. And, they have Andrew Thomas at left tackle. I think you go Cameron Williams here at right tackle. Why not? You suck. Your roster sucks. Get your quarterback some protection. Get a guy who's on the uprise. He's young. He hadn't played a lot of college football. Go for it, man. Tennessee Titans. We went Travis Hunter with the first overall pick. We're assuming we're taking a quarterback with free agency. You could do a lot of different things here. Again, bad team. Take players with high positional value and hope you hit, right? Go for upside swings. You're bad. These players can develop while you're bad. I don't love this player, but with who's available, Nick Scorton, athletic dude out of A&M, I don't mind it whatsoever. Jags, I believe we went Mason Graham with the first overall pick for us. Let's fix offensive line now. Liam Cohen's going to want to run the football. And I think Yantre Ursary is a great player. Boom. All right. Hear me out. Raiders. Chip Kelly is the new OC. Travion Henderson, pick 37. Lightning in a bottle right there. Need a running back. Chip Kelly has the Ohio State connection. I love it. We went Abdul Carter with the Patriots. Now, let's go help out our young quarterback. Let's get some blocking all right? And, you're looking like all the tackles are kind of gone. But, we don't discriminate. We just take good offensive linemen. And who's Gray Zabel can play guard or center. I love him. And then Donovan Jackson is a guard. I think you take Gray Zabel. The Patriots love taking small school offensive linemen, but they do. And you're going to have a guard who's really solid for the next decade, in my opinion. Bears. Who do we go with Who did we go with for the Bears originally? We went Armand Mimbu. All right. Mimbu. We have our lineman. Now, Ben Johnson's coming into Chicago. He hates DeAndre Swift. I don't know if you remember. DeAndre Swift played 1 year with Ben Johnson as OC, and Ben Johnson never used him. He does not like DeAndre Swift. You know, they're going to use a lot of gap scheme runs. I don't think that's Caleb Johnson's forte, really. He's more of a stretch, outside zone, inside zone type of player. In Detroit was really a lot of duo, power, counter, gap scheme runs. And that really goes to Quinshon Judkins' game, in my opinion. So I think they go Quinshon here. Saints up at 40. Who did we have the Saints take in the first round? I believe it was the tackle, yes. Hey, they can use everything, right? The Saints could use literally everything. No, I'm not going to do it. But, we got the offensive tackle in here. I think that's good. They're losing. Juwan Johnson's not coming back. Kellen Moore loves his tight ends. He's had good tight ends everywhere he's been. Look at Dallas Goedert this year. Best year he's had in years because he had Kellen Moore. The receivers, they have Chris Olave. They got the fast dude who tore his ACL. I'm blanking on his name for some reason right now. I don't love these receivers right here, though. Harold Fannin, freak. But I think Mason Taylor fits better with Kellen Moore. And we're going to go Mason Taylor. Chicago, back up. All right, Chicago is probably like, all right, we got a running game now. We took an offensive lineman, took a running back. Let's get some D linemen in here. And I think that's exactly what they're about to do. And they're going to take Tyleik Williams, D tackle, Ohio State. Stops the run very well. Like Ben Johnson, in his time in Detroit, had to have learned that if you win the trenches, you win. Jets. Who did we have the Jets going? We had them going Malachi Starks. Okay. Nah, I'm not gonna do it. I think the Jets. You have a running back. You have a receiver. Your O-line is pretty solid. I think you go defense again. And I mean, you got, Quinnen Williams. You have Will McDonald at edge. I think you could probably use another edge. But I think you could also use a linebacker. I think Jihad Campbell, really solid linebacker that you could take right here. 49ers, we had them going cornerback in the first round. They're a team that desperately needs an offensive line. I think this is a perfect stop for Donovan Jackson right here, personally. Solid offensive lineman. Plays guard, bumped out to tackle due to injuries. I love it. All right, Cowboys. We went Genty in the first round, all right? I'm sitting here as a Cowboys fan. None of these receivers are really doing anything for me. Sorry, people outside my apartment were being loud. I was trying to figure out where it was coming from. Cornerback. Cornerback is a need for the Cowboys. Jordan Lewis is on a he's not, he's a free agent. Trevon Diggs' knee has been an issue the past 2 years. Deron Bland is awesome. D tackle is another thing that we could use. But I think we go Azra Thomas here out of Florida State. Big physical corner. Wanye Thomas, who's on the Cowboys. Good safety. He's a backup for us. His brother's a lot better. I think Azra Thomas is a great click here. Colts. We had you take Tyler Warren. Defensively, you probably need help at corner as well. I think Trey Amos is a great pick here. You know, another physical corner coming off the board. Atlanta, we had you go edge in the first round, more specifically James Pierce, or was it Mike Green, if I remember correctly? Atlanta, James Pierce. Penix, first year starting. Outside of London, who do you feel great about? I say go get a speedster and Isaiah Bond right here. He's going to run fast. Go get a speedster. Give Penix something down the field. Open it up. You know what I'm saying? Cardinals, we went... Who do we go with for the Cardinals? Luther Burden. That's right. They could really use some D-tackle help. I think this is where... Deion Walker's just too big and too athletic to be on the board still. He's got a lot of work to do coaching-wise. But, man, you can't beat that. A 6'7", 360. Give me a break, dude. You cannot beat that. You cannot beat that whatsoever. Miami Dolphins. I believe we had you go with... Where are the Dolphins? Yep, Kelvin Banks Jr. Love to see it. We took care of the offensive line. You're losing Javon Holland. And Xavier Watts is not the same type of safety. But, man, that secondary can use a player like Xavier Watts. Plays downhill. I love it. All right. Hear me out, Bengals fans. Hear me out, Bengals fans. Don't yell at me. Please don't yell at me. We went edge. In round 1 with Mike Green. I think we're going to continue the train of athletic freaks from small schools. Harold Fannin Jr., welcome to the squad. Mike Gesicki, probably not coming back. If he does, he's old. Get Joe Burrow throwing to Jamar T. and Harold Fannin Jr. Yeah, sign me up. Seahawks, we went Will Campbell in the first. I think that's a great fit with Kubiak run, wide zone, stretch, mid zone over there in Seattle. But, offensive line taken care of. Tyler Lockett, probably retiring. JSN looked good. DK's in the last year of his deal. I could see them taking a Trey Harris right here. It's basically DK Metcalf-esque player all over again out of Ole Miss. Big physical receiver. I could see it. Broncos, we had you go with Colston Loveland in round 1. Offense, I feel like you're pretty set. a good O line, receivers, pretty decent. Bo Nix, running back, you're really lacking. Caleb Johnson would fit perfectly into Sean Payton's system. Perfectly. Steelers, we had you go with Jackson Dart in round 1. A lot of you are probably mad at me. Rightfully so, maybe. It's okay though. It's okay. I'm not here to not be yelled at. That's what I'm here for, actually. Yell at me all you want. But we went Jackson Dart round 1. You can kind of okay, first of all, Cordell Patterson. Yeah, meet 6'5" Cordell Patterson, all right? George Pickens. Who else in that offense scares you? Savion Williams. You can hand him the ball. Najee's a free agent. Jalen Warren's a free agent. He plays running back and receiver. And you can throw him out there at receiver, and he's a heck of an athlete. He's 6'5", 225. I think Savion Williams, you are a Pittsburgh Steeler, brother. All right, Tampa Bay. We went with an edge in the first round, if I remember correctly. I can't see half the logo. There we go. We went Mikael Williams. I don't know why they're blue. There we go. Or maybe not. Can I grab... Alright, there we go. I was grabbing the wrong thing. Alright, we went Mikael Williams. Chris Godwin coming off the knee injury. Or, excuse me, not the knee injury. Ankle injury, I believe. Mike Williams. McMillan looked good. Running backs, Bucky's a stud. Baker and the O-line looked good. Probably thinking secondary help. And they could also use linebacker help, though. Carson Schlesinger, he piss missile across the field. Piss missile. I love Carson Schlesinger. Tampa Bay Bucks, welcome to having a good linebacker again. Because Devin White was not that for a long time. And, after that Super Bowl, your linebacker play has kind of been iffy. Green Bay, I believe we went Siobhan Ravel last time. We did, yes. We said you're taking care of receiver, free agency, or trade. Assuming if it was trade, you wouldn't have one of these picks. But I digress. We don't know, all right? We can look at receiver right here. And I don't love anything there. Devonta Wyatt, Kenny Clark. You spent a lot of draft capital. On this defensive line. But I don't know, man. You know what? We're just going to grab a receiver. Go grab you a big receiver who can go make plays downfield. Because Reed is kind of a slot guy, Debo-esque, hand him the ball, yak, stuff like that. Dobbs is average. Christian Watson's hurt. Man, you went to the Iowa State pipeline before at receiver with Lazard. Go there again with Higgins. Chargers. I believe I had the Chargers go Kenneth Grant. That's right. You need a running back. You need a running back bad. Dobbins had a great year. Harbaugh likes running the ball. The OC likes running the ball. Greg Roman. But man, Dobbins is hurt all the time. And you know what would be great behind this big, powerful running game the Chargers have? Holly Gordon, bro. I don't care. He had a bad year this past year. He was the best running back in the country 2 years ago. The team sucked this year, all right? Don't hold too much of that against him. The Bills, what did we pick? Jahdae Barron in the first. Okay. Jahdae Barron, let's go. Let's look at edge. Jack Sawyer. Let's get some pass rush. Let's go. Devon Ezeruku. Boston. I don't know how to say his name, but I've watched him. Dude gets after the passer, man. All right. We are back with the Panthers. Who did the Panthers pick in the first? Jalen Walker. Makes perfect sense. Let's go get Jalen. Let's go get Bryce Young. Oh my goodness, this is ugly. Oh my goodness, this is ugly. Let's fix this. Let's fix this interior D line. Derek Brown's coming back, hopefully. We took Jalen Walker. Let's go TJ Sanders. Or do they go with a receiver? I mean, they have Leggett. You got Coker, Thielen. You know what? Oh my goodness, there's a player that I should have had drafted a while ago who hasn't gone. But I don't think he's the greatest fit for... I don't think he's the greatest fit. But who cares? Jack Besh, wide receiver, TCU. Texans, who we got in the first round? I believe we went Matthew Golden, staying inside the state of Texas. Yes, Matthew Golden, staying inside the state of Texas. Let's fix our offensive line. All right. Wyatt Millum, you're going to be playing guard for the Houston Texans. Ravens. All right. Ravens, who do we take? We took Benjamin Morris in the first round. Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman. You know who'd go great? Well, okay. I don't know if he would go great. He gives you a different body type in that receiver room. Alec Amanor, good player, strong hands, not the best route runner, big body. He gives you something different in that receiving room. Detroit Lions. Who did the Detroit Lions select in round 1? Shamar Stewart. It's probably a corner spot. I think Maxwell Harrison right here is a good fit. Give him a corner. Get that defense. I mean, so many injuries last year. So many injuries. Washington Commanders. Your defense also sucked last year, and I think a great fit, Jack Sawyer. Give you a defensive end, strong against the run, athletic. Not the best pass rusher, but, he can be taught that under Dan Quinn. So who knows? Buffalo Bills again. Let's give this offense some juice. Tez Johnson, big play, big down the field guy. Let Josh Allen go crazy with Tez Johnson. I don't care if he weighs 150 pounds. He's got juice. He's OJ, no Simpson, all right? He's got the juice. Chiefs. Who did the Chiefs take in round one? We went Walter Nolan. Is there any offensive tackle worth? Okay. Or, nope, this is what we're doing right here. Travis Kelce reported a couple of hours ago coming back for a final season with the Chiefs, assuming it's this final season. Let's go ahead and take Elijah Arroyo. Get him ready to be Travis Kelce's heir apparent. All right. Eagles, believe we went Derek Harmon in the first round. All right. Eagles are a tough one because their whole roster is stacked. I don't know what to do with them. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, it doesn't matter. Let's just keep building this D line. I mean, Brandon Graham's probably retiring. Doesn't matter. We'll bring in Princely, Princely from Ole Miss, edge. Good player, good pass rusher, twitchy. Just isn't great against the run, but that's fine. Princely from edge from Ole Miss. And that's the full 2-round mock draft. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comments from, your team's perspective. I know I messed up on some picks. I know I let some guys that I just wasn't thinking of fall too far. I know that for a fact. But hey, like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think. Hold on. Like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think. Let me know if I'm an idiot in the comments, and have a blessed night. Have a blessed day. Peace.